Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to show you 3 projects that I worked on today. The first are, I made 3 of these. They come out really cute. They're from the Dollar Tree. They're the microfiber cloths. So they're kind of stripy there. The light's not really good in here. It's night, so I don't know what it's doing. But so it looks like Santa's belt when it hangs over the stove. So it's meant to fold like right there. So that's done. So I made 3 of these. So here's what it looks like when it's unfolded. So there's that. And then you just take it and fold to where his belt is on either side, right there. And then you have a cute little Santa towel. So I got 3 of those. I'll show this before the minion comes. I got this file online from Okie Ladybug. And, oh, I don't know why it's so dark in here. It looks weird. I'm trying to get me more light here. I just put it in this so it doesn't bang around until I can wrap it up. So I always call him my little minion. I have for a while. And this one just reminded me of him in the movie. So I made him this ornament. I'm so sorry about the lighting. And then I took my own handwriting. So I wrote this out with a Bic Tuxedo Black Market Fine Point Permanent Marker. I scanned it into my Silhouette Cameo software, and then I cut it out. And the numbers I just got from an alphabet that I like the look of. I should have written that too, but this way, once upon a time when I'm not around, he can still have something with my handwriting. And I say that to him all the time, love you, Minion. So, and I call him Minion. So it kind of, I had some issues with the bubbles a little bit, but you know what? He's not going to say he doesn't like it because of that. So we're just going to go with it. I tried my best and it came out cute. So, and then this was what I was telling you I've been working on, my uncle's recipe book. So I'll go ahead and show you this. It's quite large. I got this container at the Dollar Tree to put it in, but it keeps puffing up. So I'm going to have to wrap some ribbon around it or something. So I used the Homemade with Love collection. I don't even know if I can get it out of here. There we go. The Homemade with Love collection, and I actually have done good and I put it away. So I can't show you the paper pad, but it's by Carta Bella. So this, I also buy the digital files, the complete digital kits from Snap Click Supply, I think it's called. It used to be Jessica Sprague, but I think it's Snap Click Supply. And it also came, I'll just show you before I forget, it came with these stickers. So they say dessert, beverage, appetizer, side dish, entree, and side dish. So he can use those if he'd like to, or he could just write on here. So these brads, this is from the Paper Studio. These letters, I just took some of the paper from the kit and I cut it out with the My Creative Time lowercase fun dies. And I cut out 3 layers of thin chipboard, the Silhouette brand chipboard, and I glued them all together, and then I put glossy accents, so they kind of look like thickers almost. They're not as big, but I really like how they came out. So from the digital kit, I printed these. I cut this, I set the size to 8 by 8, I printed it, and then I cut out whatever cards I wanted to use. This was the recipe binder kit. I will put a link to it on my blog so you can see. And then all of the recipe cards are actually the paper from the kit. I didn't use any printed papers. I just used the papers that were in the kit. But I did cut out this. Okay, this was a sheet of paper in the kit. But I had cut it up, the actual textured in the kit paper. So I just cut this card out. But all of the rest of the paper you're going to see is all from the kit. I didn't print it to use it. Okay, and then I got this little die here. I don't remember where I got those. It's a little baking sheet. So I thought that was cute. And baking day. And then here are the recipe cards. So you get, I think 32, so there's 8 in each division. And then this one, it's another one of those cards that I cut out, and that's a brad that I purchased. I got them at Joann's. I think it's like, they're like the brad people, or I put them all into my, this is how I store my brads in here. So I don't know who they were by. I can't remember. But I will look and see if I can find a link. I will definitely post it. So I just used a strip of the paper here to break it up a little bit. And then Must Bake, I thought was cute. And he actually has a KitchenAid mixer, so I thought that was cute. And then this one, the fondest of memories are made when gathered around the table. So this one, I went in, it's an element from the kit, from the digital kit that I bought that matches the actual paper set paper kit. So I took this into Silhouette Studio, I traced it, and then I printed it, and then it left the border, so it did that. And I did the same thing where I cut 3 of the chipboard size of these, and then I layered them. So it looks like a chipboard piece, but it's really not. And then I used some of my thin, I thought I used enough of the thin foam dots to get away with stuff, but I really didn't because you saw how big this is. And then I put eat because when you gather around the table, that's what we do. So it's 8 more recipe cards. And then this is another element that was from the digital kit. So I printed this and then I traced it in the Silhouette Cameo and I cut out 3 chipboard pieces of the shape, printed this, put it on top, and there we go. And this was just the pattern paper in there. And this one, this is all from the actual, except for this. The delicious one is that same piece of paper that the cook and the eat came from. I used that one also. And then these are strips from the actual kit. I used the Regal Crest, I think it's called, from Fiskars Punch. And this was from the sticker sheet. I used my powder tool on the back so it wasn't sticky and then popped it up using foam dots. And then 8 more recipe cards. And then I took my my Creative Time dies, the medium and the small. I actually punched out a lot of the large, but I ended up doing this pattern so they didn't fit. I did the same thing. I cut out the top layer in pattern paper, and then there are 3 layers underneath of the thin chipboard, so it just pops it up enough. So that way I make my own chipboard pieces, and I love those digital kits because when they come in the kit, you're stuck with that one size. Like, I don't even know how big that was in the kit. I didn't even look. I made it to fit what I wanted. So I really like that. So look into the digital kits. I'll have a link on my blog too to Snap Click Supply and actually to this kit so you can take a look at it. If you buy the full kit, you get all of the papers, you get all the elements. There wasn't a sticker sheet with this one, or in the kit there wasn't an alphabet, the digital kit, which I was kind of bummed about because I was going to use those on the front, but I ended up figuring it out anyways. And this is one of those, this is the piece of paper that was in the kit. The eat matches this eat right here. So what I did was in Silhouette Studio, like I said, I took the 12 by 12 pattern piece of paper that had all of these cards and I put it down to 8 by 8 and trimmed the cards out. So this is the original, this is the digital that I trimmed down. And this one, this is a sticker as well. These are actually 2 stickers layered and they had 2 holes there. So I put a spoon and a fork and I didn't even notice until now I lined them up correctly. Spoon, fork, spoon, fork. How cool is that? Nice accident. This was a border strip on one of the papers. This is just a pattern paper. And then again, I don't know where I got those from. It would be from Joann's, the little spoon and fork brads there. And then these again were digital elements that I printed the top layer and then did 3 layers of the Silhouette thin chipboard and layered them up so they look like they're chipboard accents. And then here we just have this last page that says Love to Cook. And this was another one from the digital kit that I printed out, and I printed 3 chipboard pieces behind it to make my own chipboard piece. And this is another heart from the My Creative Time stitched heart dies. This was the small one, so I did the same thing. Printed paper on the pattern paper on the top one, 3 layers of chipboard. It just looked empty here in this little space, so I figured, ooh, Love to Cook, love, there we go. So, and then here's the back. The back, I love this paper. I wish I would have used it more in the kit. Oh, okay, we're gonna it's kind of big and it kind of sits up on its own. So here's the paper, the little whisks. So it's on the front and it's on the back. So I thought that was kind of cool to do. So tips, try to keep stuff as flat as possible. I didn't. And I also used Tim Holtz Distress Ink Vintage Photo to go around all the sides of the elements and the papers. Like I didn't do it on this sticker, I didn't do it, but all the papers that you see I did. This I did, that. I didn't on this big spoon and fork back here, but that was the only, and this I didn't do it on. Those are the only things I didn't do it on. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, there we go. All right. And then the paint that I used, because I painted the sides in red, because this matched the paper really well, I felt. This is Folk Art acrylic paint, and this is Cardinal Red. So if you get this kit and make this book, there it is, Cardinal Red in Folk Art. And I think this came from Walmart. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I think that's everything. Let me see. I don't have the other recipe kit right here. I thought that I did. Another tip would be to, when you're, before you decorate, go ahead and get your book binding holes punched. I had an incident. I had to redo the first page, which I didn't really plan on doing today. I didn't really have the time to do. This was my original first page, and I had to rip all the stuff off. But when I put it in, it punched too far out here. And then I finally got it in where it was in, and it was messed up. So I had to do it over again. So yeah, definitely decorate your pages like this, put them in then, and then decorate. My concern was if I did that, decorated it totally, I wouldn't be able to hide the brad holes. So but just put your pattern paper down, your one paper, then do everything else. Because I would have been fine if I just did that and punched them then. So that's my advice for this recipe binder. Thank you so much for stopping by to see my projects. I love sharing them with you guys. And this is definitely a really fun project if you have somebody in your life that loves to cook. My uncle loves to cook. This was definitely good. I love the kit, Homemade with Love from Carta Bella. Or I think homemade. Homemade? Yeah, homemade. So I will put a link to the digital kit at Snap Click Supply. I'll put a link to the kit probably on Amazon. And the recipe binder book I will put on there. I got them, I think they were $4.99 at Hobby Lobby. And I also, no, these I got from Hobby Lobby. They were $4.99 with 40% off. So they were pretty reasonable. Okay, so I'm kind of going on and on and on. So thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my project today. I'm so excited to share them with you. Don't forget to check out my blog, especially for the supply list if you're interested in making this project. And I love to see comments over there too, guys, at www.crazycatladycraft.blogspot.com. And I will be doing the drawing. I've decided to let the giveaways drag out a little bit longer. They're in the 12 Meows of Christmas. One's on my blog and one's in a video. So if you're interested in those, check those out. I'm going to draw them January 1st. I figured I'd give everybody a little bit more time. So they're nothing too exciting, but I will tell you one is a die set, and one is, we'll say an embellishment. So if you want to check those out. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Happy crafting.